Let's start with Buccaneers at Panthers. Big spread for a divisional game. Carolina opening at -6.5. They're now at -7 at some books, 6.5 at others. Total opened up at 51.5 and is now going down 49.5 across the board, but at 50 at Pinnacle. Every year, Carolina is unpredictable for me. And I've said this for 2 years working with you guys. I find them a very difficult cap. You know, they have this oft-injured, possibly disinterested quarterback. In saying that, the Bucs looked terrible against the 49ers. Their running game looked okay. We heard Bowles and Arians talking about getting their running game going in the preseason. Their running game looked okay. But I would say that's because the Niners were leaving the middle wide open, right? They had their wide 9 defensive set, and that was leaving the middle of the field wide open. So I don't trust this Buccaneers running game, even though it looked okay. The Bucs defense looked bad, other than Vita Vea. I mean, the Bucs defense looked bad. And Donnie, Mike Evans got dominated by Ahkello Witherspoon. What information do we take from that? Is Witherspoon a elite defensive back, or is something wrong with Mike Evans? Because that was crazy to me. This game makes me extremely uncomfortable. Both teams make me uncomfortable. The only look I would say early is both offenses did not look very good. You have one guy in the Carolina Panthers offense that does everything for them, and I'm not talking about Cam Newton, and then you have a Buccaneers team filled with question marks. Donnie right side, this game makes me extremely uncomfortable. The under is the only thing I would look at now, but I don't know if I'm going to pull that trigger with Winston throwing pick sixes. What do you think here, Donnie?
It's hard. It's because when you take a look at, again, Carolina, there should be no reason that each and every week we wonder about the quarterback. He's a money burner. He's a loser in the NFL, straight up. 0-7 his last 7 starts. You thought he would change that opening day. You saw the money coming in on Carolina, and you got to remember, you're betting on Cam Newton. So in that game, no surprise that they weren't able to cover that spread. But now we're looking into an edge where it's going to fall into Cleveland's side. And the only question I have on Thursday Night Football, again, comes in, like you talked about it. Can you put your money with Cam Newton? Now we're seeing the lines creeping up to -7, -101 at Pinnacle, 6.5 minus juice across the board. They should win this game because, as I'm going to say it, each and every audible we have, if you bet the road team on Thursday Night Football, money line or spread, take that money, give it to the Red Cross, and donate it because you will burn your money all season long. You look home teams on Thursday Night Football. If you don't, you're doing it wrong. It's the single biggest detractor in professional sports that an NFL team has to go on the road on a Thursday night game. It's an unfair advantage. It's one of the few things in all of sport that really goes against and plays one way. So we can only look at the Carolina Panthers in this football game. Tampa Bay was ridiculously bad last week. And again, when you talk about Mike Evans there, we heard about, flu before the game, 90 degrees. Maybe there was something to it. But then again, if the flu was running through the locker room, you only have, 2-3 days to get ready in order to go on the road and play a divisional opponent in Carolina. Carolina is the much better football team. But it gets back to that same adage. Can you bet Cam Newton and put your money on him?
Yeah. And he looked I don't know what it was. Think about the difference of body language from the sidelines between Cam Newton and Deshaun Watson. Because Deshaun Watson was coming in and out of the injury tent like a leader, saying, don't worry, I'm good, getting his back rubbed down, all that stuff, saying, don't worry, I'm good, we'll answer back. Aaron maybe says Panthers win at home, lay the points, get the cash. If you put your money on Winston short week, you might as well light it on fire. Alex Ramirez says Thursday, difficult football game to find an angle. Drew Barron saying Jameis is a train wreck. Who knows what's up with Cam? Pass. And that's what I'm thinking right now. And I don't want to put you guys to sleep. I also, my 12 plays week 1 bothered me immensely. Why did I have 12 bets out there? I was hoping to have 4 to 6, and yet I had 12. This game makes me extremely uncomfortable. I understand home team or pass, but do I trust the Panthers here? I don't think so. I don't know who to trust, and that makes me just want to do nothing. At this point, Donnie, we're not going to be able to talk about this game again because we have our Friday show next. So at this point, does it look like you will not be making a move? And also, do you find that Thursday nighter might be a little easier week 2 than, say, week 8?
You're right, because you're not playing to as much attrition week 2, because even though it's that short work week, week 1, both the teams have the same amount of break for the Thursday night football game. So technically that Bears-Packers game wasn't a true Thursday nighter. This is the first true Thursday nighter, but you're right. Maybe after weeks 4, 5, and 6, when that attrition really builds in and your bones, you're not able to get out of bed on Tuesday or Wednesday. You got to play a road game on a Thursday night. That plays into a little bit, but as hard as it is to take Cam Newton, if I have to give an opinion on this game, it's Carolina or nothing for me in this game, Jimmy.
I hear you. And if it wasn't for McCaffrey, we'd be talking about the dumpster fire, the Carolina Panthers. Jay Scum says, I don't trust either side, Jimmy. I don't know how you can play it. I don't either. Yeah. And Merrick says, you just got a bit excited for football being back, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm excited. But still, right. I'm not just going to. Our record and us succeeding on this show is very important. And I don't see a move other than an under here, Donnie. What do you think about this total?
Yeah, no, I would be on the same wavelength as you as well. Cam Newton may be more likely to keep the football on the ground and move the chains. We saw Jameis Winston was a train wreck, especially in the red zone over the weekend. So if you're going to give me a 50 on a short work week, probably going to lean more unders than overs in that spot, Jimmy.
Yeah, and funny. So we talk about week 2 being this situation where it's all about public overreaction. Then I look at my leans here, and my recency bias is doing the exact same thing everybody else's is, and that's I've got overs on my card, over leans, except here. This is my only under lean, and that's a bad sign when we have a record amount of touchdowns week 1, and here I'm over. I know that's a mistake. I know that's a recency bias. We will talk more about that issue moving forward.